All right, you are looking live at the Nasdaq, which is not very live today. It was a pretty sleepy session, and it was down 16 points, 0.12%, closed at 13,219, and it is now trading 3.3% below that 50 simple moving average here, which is curling lower, along with the other shorter term moving averages. This looks like a pretty bearish wedge here, as it's taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, and now it's up against this 10. If as a technician, you'd probably say that looks like it's going to be rejected there, but everything's cautious ahead of the jobs number tomorrow. And certainly if we get the Goldilocks number, not too hot, not too cold, this market could rally through these moving averages and have a follow-through day. I believe today was day 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So tomorrow will be day 8, as we look for a follow-through day. Hopefully we'll get it on a Friday. I don't know. I don't think the history is not good on a Friday, but we'll just take it one day at a time. Certainly the head and shoulders pattern here that I identify every day, it's getting old. For the longs here, it's just been a really tough, choppy market without a trend, just chopping around here. But since this right shoulder, it's been kind of gumbied here and fell out. The 13,000 level is definitely a level of interest here, as it's been since late to 2021 here, I believe, that it's just been trading 3,000 points above the number and 3,000 points below the 13,000 level. We're just right smack dab in the middle, and we've been doing this for quite some time here. 13,000 January 2021, so it's about 34 months worth of sideways action. And when you get a market like this, you're always going to have winners and losers. This is not the type of even the rally we had this spring and summer was not a market that the rising tides lifted all boats. You have to be an excellent stock selector and identify the winning stocks, because there's still a lot of stocks during this rally that were not participating. So anyway, I wanted to take a look at, you could see the Nasdaq here and where it is relation to its 50 and its 200. I should show you that the 200, it's 5.2% above the 200. And now we're going to take a look at the S&P 500 index, because the Nasdaq, those magnificent 7, is trying to lift this S&P, which is dragging down here. And this one's only 1%, 1.2% above its 200. So, maybe to trade down there and find support, but definitely the Nasdaq is the leading index right now. Anyway, I'm going to move on here. I'm going to look at some stocks because I like stocks. I'm going to look at Microsoft, the Magnificent 7. I mentioned, this looks a lot like the Nasdaq here, where it's taken 7 or 8 sessions here to move up to moving averages, and that looks like a bear wedge, but we'll see how it plays out. Amazon, another one, just really doing nothing, probably going to get smacked down by its moving averages. Just forming a base, though. This looks like a double bottom pattern. Google, which was one of the stronger ones, is now above its 50, 2% above the 50, but not really doing much. But as long as it's above the 50 and respecting that red line here, that's okay. The Meta, this thing's just trading sideways. 1% above the 50, just it's in a base. It's trading sideways within a base with lighter volume. Usually that's bullish, but these things can't go anywhere. And if I'm glad I have a hobby, I play golf or I hike or I bike, I do something. I can't sit there and watch this as like growing, grass growing here. This tape today, it was just horrific. But the caution is understandable ahead of the jobs report tomorrow. Tesla is one that looks actually a little better here now. It's starting to, this is like a 11 weeks in consolidation with this cup with handle pattern. It's now above its 50. It's above all its moving averages there, and looking a lot better, but it needs a catalyst. They need catalysts. NVDA, the last of the Magnificent 7 I'm going to show right now. That really looks like a bear wedge. I wouldn't be buying that one until it cleared above that resistance there at the 50, and it could tomorrow. I mean, it could be up $20 tomorrow. With a Goldilocks jobs report. We just got to take it one day at a time. But I got to tell you, I haven't seen a stock this big, over $1 trillion market cap with triple digit sales and earnings growth. But anyway, that's all priced in. The market knows that. Today the news was Walmart said that their people are not buying as many groceries, and they don't think it's because of the dollar. It's because of the or the inflation or the dollar. It's because of the Ozempic. People are taking Ozempic, and it's hurting food prices. I'm thinking that the food companies just raise prices too much and the consumer's pushing back, but I'm going to have to go with Walmart here. If they say it's Ozempic, then they probably have done enough research on it to know. And the food stocks have just fallen out of bed. I don't feel sorry for them. They really gouged the consumer and raised prices too much, and the consumer's pushing back. And so these stocks are just getting crushed. Pepsi, this is Pepsi, and just in a free for all. I mean, it sliced its 50 here, then rallied back through it, then sliced it again. This is why I sell the stocks when they slice their 50, because you don't know how low they're going to go or how long this is going to last. But that one has been slaughtered. Coca-Cola, same thing. They just raise their prices too much and kind of price themselves out of the market. That's what I'm saying. I mean, Walmart says it's Ozempic, so take your pick. For the company, it doesn't really matter. It's like they've got to get back in the game here, and I don't know how they're going to do it. But definitely these stocks are getting hammered. And if you own them, I'm sorry, but to me, this is good for the consumer. Like when oil prices go down, that's good for the consumer. And Kraft Heinz is another one. They make a lot of food. You can see, I don't even have to explain here. Slice to 50, slice to 200, and just down, down, down she goes. These look like software names back in 2022. This is on the ski slope here, the water slide. This is General Mills. They make a lot of food. They actually make pet food as well, and that's just getting sold. The investors are just selling these stocks. Hershey's is another one. Just brutal. I mean, yeah, they still pay a dividend, but man, you see that kind of depreciation in your stock. The dividend is not going to help you much. And the last one I'm going to show you, because they all look the same, is a Campbell's soup. And this one, same thing. They just sliced her 50, sliced her 200, and down she goes. And like I said, that's why I have the rule of selling when they sliced her 50. So, anyway, that's enough of the food stocks. I took you down that negative road. I'm going to bring you back on the positive path. And that is Eli Lilly, because they're the maker of the Mounjaro, which is the weight loss drug that, I guess is getting consumers to not buy as much food. But it recaptured its 50 SMA today with a $10 gain. And this one certainly has been one of the stronger stocks. All of the drug stocks were up today. The XBI has been just massacred since, well, I'll show you the chart here in a minute. Novo Nordisk, this one is another, this is the maker of Ozempic. It didn't get much love, up 1% off that news today. And this is starting to look bearish too, below its 50, and it just can't, you want to see it do the Debo, right? Put the foot in the ground and slam right up the field, but this thing can't do it. It's got no juice, got no power. It needs some love here. It needs some buyers to push this thing higher. And it doesn't have earnings until the greatest day of the calendar year, November 2nd. Anyway, I'm just going to go through a bunch of biotech drug stocks. This is Mirati Therapeutics. This one up 45% on news. That's a nice 1 day haul, huh? Like I say, when a stock goes up, more than 10% and more than 100% above average daily volume, that is a move that's not to be ignored. So that should be on your radar. MRTX. I mean, the move was so strong today that even the dogs like Merck and Pfizer were up. This one's up 1.5%. Merck was. You can see how these have been crushed. And then Pfizer was up 0.5%. This thing has been slaughtered as well. CPRX is a catalyst, and good numbers, good sales and earnings growth. The stock just can't get out of its own way. It's got litigation issues. But I wanted to show you the XBI, a weekly chart, because since Well, I don't want to get political. I'm just going to say that the Biden administration took office here, and this is the performance of the drug stock. So, they've been pretty hard on the drug stocks, and they've been hard on the mergers and acquisitions with the FTC and the antitrust rulings. And they even came out today and said they hope that their actions deter companies from they're trying to deter companies from merging because it's bad for the employees, which may be true. I don't know. I don't take drugs, so I don't really care. I mean, I do like to invest in drug stocks, but you can't with this type of environment here. So next guy has been slaughtered. It was up 3.25% today, and the other one, the one that corresponds to 3-time leverage, LABU, is just looks like XBI. It's just on steroids. That's all. So anyway, enough of that nonsense. I'm going to go through some stocks that I like, some stocks that are on my watch list, some stocks that are on my ready list. And then I'm going to honor the great Steve Jobs, who passed away 12 years ago this day. This is CrowdStrike, and the chart looks great, but the market's just going nowhere. So it's hard for this thing to get off the ground and move and try to appreciate some, and it's just going sideways. And like some people were asking me today about some stocks, I'm saying they're not running away from you. I mean, if you want to buy CrowdStrike, it's giving you plenty of chances here. So is NVDA, so is all these stocks. None of them are really going anywhere. It's not like a runaway stock like those coal stocks that were just going up and up and up every day. This one's just going sideways. And if you want to own CrowdStrike, it's giving you a perfect chance. It's very frustrating for me as an owner of this stock. It's not going anywhere, but it is set up nicely. It traded down to its 21, which is this magenta line here, the 21 EMA, and found support today. And that's what you want to see your stocks find support there at moving averages. So CrowdStrike is doing nothing wrong. It's just, doing nothing right either. It's a very frustrating tape. That's why I like to golf, so I don't have to watch this garbage. This is AKAM. This is a nice bull wedge pattern here that it's forming as it pulls back to its moving average, the 21, on a lighter volume here. That's really trading tight, and the volume is drying up. This looks very good. In an uptrending market, I would be all over this thing, but right now I'm just watching it. I believe it will resolve to the upside, but this tape is just really tough. So especially for trend traders, because it's a trendless market. Anyway, DUOL is another one showing strength. It's got that double bottom pattern, which, I've done pretty well with over the years with these double bottoms. I totally missed this as it, broke above its downtrend line here on this state back at like 146, and it's traded higher, pulled back to the 50 one time after this little breakout. It pulled back and then ripped higher, and now it's being supported at its moving average here. As you can see, the last couple of days, last 3 sessions, it's traded down to its 10 and found support. Today it's got this hammer candle where it closed at the high of the day, which usually indicates wants higher prices. But in this tape, I mean, anything goes. Yeah, 93% of its daily range. So DUOL looks good. I don't want to jinx it. Cross your fingers. Arista Networks is another one that is showing strength. This one broke out, then pulled back to the 50 for the first time and found support. I could zoom in here. Yeah, it traded below it for a couple days, and that's fine. That's why I'd like to wait to the end of the week and give them a chance to recover. And this one did the Debo, right, where it comes down and just rips right back up. And that's what you want to see here, and not this lollygagging 8, 10, 12, 15 sessions below the 50 and bear wedging barely higher. That's usually a negative for a stock. VRT, Vertiv Holdings, this one a little like our friend AKAM, where it's pulling back to a moving average, after an uptrend. And this one looks really good to me. But, the market's got to cooperate at some point. You can see it had a little inside day today, a quiet session with the volume drying up. So maybe it'll do something here soon, but that's why it's on my ready list. Costco, this is a slow moving stock and not one that, it's going to run away from you at any time. It's long-term winner. I just got to show the monthly chart here, and there you go. It's like one of those retirement portfolio stocks that pays a small dividend, but it is setting up in this consolidation here and trading sideways like everything else. Sideways is better than down, though. They got to stop going down before they can go up. So this is a PCAR, trucks and heavy duty parts stock trading, consolidating in a base, above moving averages. I kind of like this chart pattern. Let's take a look at the weekly here. Yeah, it's got a little 3 weeks tight within the flat base. Just trading sideways. Sound like a broken record. All the stocks that I like are trading sideways. None of them are going up. This is Bentley Systems. You can see the clear symmetrical cup-shaped pattern here. Probably needs to build the right side of a base or handle out, but that one looks pretty good. I wonder how many weeks this is. 12 weeks. Yeah, not bad. So 12 weeks, 3 months. Yeah, that's a nice little base there. So definitely watching that one. And it was up slightly today. I'm going to get to those electrical contracting manufacturing stocks that are just holding up well. FN, I show this one every day. This is why I don't ignore those big moves, right? This is why I say is not to be ignored, Dan. 31% move with 500% above average daily volume, and then it did pull back to the 21, but then now is ripping higher. So that one looks fantastic. CLS had a gap higher back here in July, right? 10% move with 480% above average daily volume, and just continues to matriculate higher up the chart, respecting its moving averages. That one looks good. The other one is JBL. This one's not to be ignored. 18% move, 400% average daily volume is just trading higher. Pull back today, but it's still 5.9% above its 10 EMA. So these are strong stocks. Murphy, this one's kind of this is a little perplexing because it's got the oil and gas component, but it is a mini market, retail, and retail's been slaughtered, but this one continues higher. So you don't fight the Fed, you don't fight the trend, and the trend is your friend, and this one is just respecting its 10 EMA, and it made a new high today. So that looks good. MCK, this is kind of like a medical drug supplier stock, and this one's set up in a little consolidation base here. Pulled back to its 21 and now is blasting higher, made a new high today. So McKesson definitely looks good. That's MCK McKesson. And Road, I showed you this one, I don't know, the last couple of days, I think. Yeah, yesterday had this big move. 7% with 250% above average daily volume, and then followed it up today with a 1.5% move. So that one looks good as well. And that's all I have, except for I did want to honor the great Steve Jobs, who passed away 12 years ago today. My wife attended Homestead High School with Mr. Jobs. She said he was cute but a jerk, and I said, "Oh, kind of like me." Said you could have been Mrs. Jobs, but you're stuck with me. She's happy to be with me. Anyway, Mr. Jobs, the greatest CEO of my lifetime, returned to Apple in 1997 when Apple bought Next. And Jobs returned CEO and then cleaned house. They came out with the iPod. And I was teaching at the time, and all the students wanted straight A's. I said, "Why do you want straight A's?" I mean, they all want straight A's, right? And they said, "Because my parents are going to buy me an iPod if I get straight A's." And that was probably, I don't know, 2001 maybe. And anyway, after that, I got demoted to principal and still keep in touch with the kids because they're the ones that, if you, that when I heard that they all wanted iPods, that made me say, I'm going to buy Apple. And I did. And of course I sold it too soon, but that's not the point. The point is to pay attention to trends. Like I see a lot of kids wearing Uggs, so I bought Deckers. I see them wearing Crocs, so I buy Crocs. Yeah, they're really, if you pay attention, like they're drinking Celsius now, right? So, back in the day, it was Starbucks. They'd all come to school with Starbucks. So I pay attention to consumers and their trends, but this is what the great Steve Jobs has done for Apple shareholders over the past 25 years. And even after his death here in 2011, you can see the appreciation that Tim Cook has taken over the company and managed so well. So Yeah, the greatest CEO of my lifetime. I heard that you don't want to ride the elevator with Steve Jobs because if he would ask you what you do for Apple computers, and if you didn't answer right away, you were fired before the elevator stopped. So he was a taskmaster and a great CEO, and he brought products to consumers that they didn't even know they wanted or needed. Anyway, that's it for today. Tomorrow we have the jobs report. Hopefully things will be a little bit better. We get a Goldilocks number and we can get a follow through day, and we can start this fourth quarter off on the right foot here. Anyway, at mcstockcharts.com, we never give up. Thank you for watching.